It's a total clown show in Maranello, where rumors are flying around talking about a big change. Some might even say, a big reset, and it all revolves around Fred Vasseur and his future at Ferrari. At this point, Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur will have assurances to make over his future to concerned staff members following recent reports. And that prompted Vasseur to issue a new plea against the claims that appeared in the Italian media, questioning his future as Ferrari team principal, as he spoke of the unrest it causes among Ferrari personnel, and recalled a previous example in which he had to Google who Eric Balbo was, Red Bull's head of aerodynamics, who was reported to be Ferrari-bound. The Italian press questioned Vasseur's Ferrari future ahead of the Canadian Grand Prix, citing the Scuderia's disappointing start to the season, with only 3 podium finishes, all by Charles Leclerc, and a sprint victory by Lewis Hamilton in China. Meanwhile, a report in Germany indicated that Ferrari had approached Red Bull team principal Christian Horner. Nonetheless, Horner denied the possibility of a Red Bull departure during the Canada race weekend. Vasseur was firm in his response to the speculation, and when asked about it again after the Canadian Grand Prix, he emphasized the upset it causes within Ferrari. To close this chapter, because I don't want to put oil on the system, for myself, when I signed at Ferrari, I was perfectly aware of this, and I can't blame someone except myself, that if I didn't want to have this kind of story, it was better to stay out, said Vasseur. But it's very, very harsh for the team, for the 1,500 people, to have your name spread like this on the press. Okay, you have to change this one, because it's not that, just a name or a position. It's someone with a family will have saw that. And now, each Monday, I have people coming in my office. Is it true? No, it's not true. Stay calm. Vasseur compared it to the circumstance in which Red Bull's aero chief Eric Balbo was supposed to be on his way to Ferrari last year, admitting that he required the internet to figure out who this was. Last year, Balbo was a good example that it was in the press that we signed Balbo, Vasseur continued. But I had to Google Balbo because I didn't know the face of the guy. I never met him before. But you can imagine that Diego Tondi, who is head of aero, when he saw something like this in the press, it's quite harsh for him because he doesn't know if it's true or not. Vasseur also underlined that a distracted Ferrari is not a winning team. And this is putting a kind of tension is not the right word, but entropy or distraction into the team, said Vasseur. And at the end of the day, we are in a competition with other teams, and if we are distracted or not focused on the right thing, we will lose the competition. After 10 rounds of the F1 2025 season, Ferrari sits third in the Constructors' Championship with a 191-point margin over runaway leaders McLaren. But even though Vasseur has denied it, the rumors have persisted, and now Antonello Coletta, the head of Ferrari's World Endurance Championship program, has emerged as the leading candidate to succeed Fred Vasseur as F1 team principal. Ferrari has had a difficult start to the season and trails runaway leaders McLaren by 191 points following last weekend's Canadian Grand Prix, the campaign's 10th event. Lewis Hamilton, who was contracted as Sainz's replacement for F1 2025, has yet to live up to the hype surrounding his high-profile departure from Mercedes. The 7-time world champion, who turned 40 last winter, has yet to finish on the podium in his first 10 races with Ferrari, his worst ever start to an F1 season. The team also made the uncommon decision to debut a number of fresh design concepts with the SF25 car, despite last year's good foundation and the knowledge that this season signals the end of the existing regulations, and the gamble has so far backfired on Ferrari. Following his departure from Red Bull last year, Adrian Newey, the most decorated man in F1 history, chose to join the rival Aston Martin squad rather than Ferrari. Multiple reports from Italy before of the Canadian Grand Prix weekend stated that Vasseur is under increasing pressure at Ferrari, with the next 3 races critical to the Frenchman's future. According to the famous Italian magazine Corriere della Sera, Coletta is one of the main possibilities to succeed Vasseur if a change occurs, having led Ferrari to significant success in endurance racing. Ferrari's 499P hypercar has won the classic Le Mans 24 Hours race every year since the Scuderia returned to the elite category of endurance racing 2 years ago, with the in-house Ferrari AF course team taking the title in 2023 and 2024. The manufacturer's triumph continued during last weekend's 24 Hours of Le Mans, where a privately entered 499P, driven by Robert Kubica, a former BMW, Renault, and Williams F1 driver, won. Ferrari has dominated the 2025 WEC season, with the 499P winning all 4 rounds thus far. Coletta has been extensively praised for his contribution to Ferrari's success in endurance racing, where he is the worldwide head of Ferrari Endurance and Course Clienti, having previously served as the president of Scuderia Ferrari's sporting activities since 2014. A WEC win, something Ferrari has never achieved previously, in 2025 may result in Coletta being promoted to the top F1 role in Vasseur's place. It has been speculated that Lorenzo Giorgetti, Ferrari's chief racing revenue officer, may take on a more specific role with the F1 team alongside Coletta, possibly in a dual leadership structure similar to that used by McLaren, where chief executive Zak Brown and team principal Andrea Stella share responsibilities. According to Corriere della Sera, Coletta already spurned an opportunity to become Ferrari F1 team principal, and the Scuderia's administration is unlikely to accept his turning down the job again. According to reports, Coletta and Horner, the longest-serving team principal in F1 after being appointed by Red Bull in 2005, are near the top of the list to succeed Vasseur if a change is made. However, according to insiders close to the situation, Ferrari's chances of convincing Horner to leave Red Bull are slim. In an exclusive interview released last week, Horner claimed that he is entirely dedicated to Red Bull, with his heart and soul belonging to the team. He said, "Obviously, over the years, I've had different approaches, and it's always flattering to be associated with any other team, as they're all great teams. But my heart and soul are in this team. I've invested a big part of my life in it, and I feel a responsibility to the people. It's a group of 2,000 people, and I'm really excited about what the future holds in terms of building our own engine from 2026. That's very much the next chapter for us, having it all under one roof. How many people have done that? That's a massive challenge, but a great opportunity, and something, as an organization, we're very excited about. The people are what makes a team, and that's who I feel a tremendous attachment to. Both in the team, obviously, and the shareholders that have supported, the sponsors and partners. We now have 58 partners that I've been responsible for bringing into the team, and we have a great relationship with so many of those partners. It feels a significant part of my life." During the team principal's press conference in Canada last weekend, Vasseur slammed media speculation over his future, calling it disrespectful. He said, "I have to stay calm because, if not, I will have to visit the stewards for swearing. It's not about myself, I think, because this I can manage. It's more about the people of the team. I think it's just disrespectful for them, for their families. We had the case last year, with the chief of aero already. I don't know the target behind the rumours. I don't understand the target. Perhaps it's to give shout to the team, but in this case, I don't see the point. Perhaps it's for them, the journalists, the only way to exist. This is probably more the reason, but it's really hurting the team. At one stage, it's a lack of focus, and when you are fighting for the championship, every single detail makes the difference. And from the beginning of the weekend, we are just speaking about this. If it's their target to put them team in this situation, they reach their goal. But I think it's not like this that we'll be able to win a championship, at least not with this kind of journalist around us. They are working very hard, and to decide one day that this one will be replaced, this one will be replaced, this one is useless. Honestly, it's very, very harsh. They have these journalists, and I'm not putting everybody in the same basket, but they have to consider that these people, they have family, they have wives, they have kids, and this is completely unrespectful. But now I don't want to speak anymore about this stupid topic. So, what do you think? Is Ferrari lining up a replacement? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.